Okay, so hey, today I'll be making a small autocomplete kind of thing. So where it takes input and converts or like finds a player that has like these letters in the name. So it's player one. So if the user gives PLA, we can say they're talking about player one, or they can give GUV, and it could be like guess. So we'll be making a script that accepts this input and finding the players and so on. So for this, first I'll make like a small UI for input. Just give me a second. Okay, so this is just gonna be how it's gonna be. So we have a text box for input and label. So we'll be finding the player as the player's typing. There's no enter button or something like that. So let's start a script. So to begin, I'll just put a local script into the frame, that is like the background, I guess you can say. So you can say okay, I'll name the things. So for the text box, I'll just call it input. Text box, I'll call it input, and this I'll call result. Why not? Okay. So in the local script, I'll make some variables first. No, that's not necessary. Okay, first we'll make a function. Local function. We'll call this autocomplete. Sure. And after a few lines, like after the function, we can just say script dot parent dot. Let's not call it input actually. Let's call this. Let's call text box itself. It's fine. So we can just say script dot parent dot text box dot. What should I do? Change. I think I should do. Yeah, let's do changed. Why not? So we'll do changed colon connect function. We'll connect this to a function. Give right. We'll call prop. So basically, this event is gonna fire when something within the text box changes. So maybe the color of the background changes or something like that. So but in this case we want to check the text. So we can say if the changed property is the text, so we can just say if actually I just want to test something real quick. It's probably string, right? And type of prop. There we go. And if we test this, it's a string. Okay, it's a string. So we can say if okay, so we can say if the property that was changed was a text. We have a property called text, right? It's called text, right? Let me just confirm. Okay, it's called text. Yeah. Then so basically the property that was changed was text. So and then we'll complete our we can run our autocomplete function. We haven't written the code yet, but that's fine. We'll do it in a second. So we can say if property equals text, then okay, the script parent dot the result dot text is equals to autocomplete. Yeah, okay, fine, let's do it like this. Autocomplete. So basically, at the end, we'll probably have something like a return, like player name, something around like this type. So when it says return player name, and so this will be written, this will be like replaced by player name. So that's how it's gonna work. Autocomplete. So okay, so now let's just move this down. Let's write a function for the autocomplete thing. Okay, so just one small modification. For autocomplete, we're also going to give in some input, like what the text is going to act upon, like yeah, what the function is going to act upon. So autocomplete will say script dot parent dot text box dot text. So basically, it'll autocomplete the given text, right? So if we leave it blank, we can't really get what the player like or what we want to find. Because if I do it like this, the function doesn't know what string to work on, so that's why. So we have to give the text in the box. So we can do script dot parent dot text box dot text. So it'll autocomplete the text within the text box. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So we can say a string. Let's not call it string. Let's call it can we call it input? Okay. Let's call it input. No problem. Okay. Now we can say. Okay. So basically, there's this property. It's called, I think, clear text on selection, something like that. Hold on. Yeah, clear text on focus. Yeah, that's what I mean. So basically, that means when you're playing the game and you click the text, it'll be blank. Like at the first click, it'll be blank. Like right now, it says text box. You sort of saw that, right? Yeah, it says text box. So when I click on it, it becomes nothing. There's nothing there. So, yeah. So this becomes pretty much nil, you can say. Oh, we got an error. Why do we get an error? 14th line. If okay, this let's comment this because if we run right now, we'll keep getting errors. But once we continue more, we can put as we want. Okay, so now local function autocomplete. Let's do this now. So basically, I told about the property. So basically, what that property does, it makes the text this. It's a string, but it has no characters in between. So it's like a blank string, you can say. That's what happens. So that means there are 0 characters. So we'll account for that because sometimes some text labels, some text boxes have that property on, some text boxes or don't. Like if the creator or the developer turns it off. So just in case, we'll just check if the given text has 0 characters, that is like this. So we can say if input, actually we'll do string dot len input, so basically is equals to 0, then okay, you know what, I'll put not equals to 0, then we can say you know what, let's okay, so basically now what I'm doing right now is if the length of the input is not 0, this so basically this means check if it's 0, and if it is 0, the code will run within here, and if we do, I forgot what it's called, the squiggly line, I guess you can call that. Okay, if you do this squiggly line, it means not equal to 0. So that means if the string the length of the string is not equal to 0, the code here will run. So if we do an else, that means it's the opposite of this. So that means if the opposite, like now this statement means if the string if the length of the string is not 0. So if we talk about the opposite of that, that means the length of the string is 0. The reason why I'm putting this 0 here, like not equal to 0 here, first is because I want all the errors, like it'll be more clean, I guess you can say. The errors are like at the bottom, and the main code, like, because there's only one more line I have to write here, and then we can just continue to the main code. So basically I can make all the errors just at the bottom, because that's not the main thing, so I'll look neater, I guess. So we can say return. Return will just give like a small error message, no input is given, and let's and if there is more than 0, they can't be less than 0, because that's just impossible. So return, return input is given. This is for temporarily, like, testing purposes, so not we're not actually gonna put this. We'll just check if it kind of works. Okay. Oh yeah, I made that a comment. I'm sorry. So we have to uncomment this, because or else it won't work. I forgot that. Let's just check. Okay, yeah. Okay, so I have the output window on the right side. You can see it says classic basically. So first I'm gonna click on the text box. That means there is no single characters. So it says no input is given, just like it should say. Because we can say if string.len input is not equal to 0, then run this code. Else, that means if it is 0, then we can run this code. And this code says no input is given. So that means this no input is given like replaces this one, and the text becomes no input is given, and that's exactly what's happening. No input is given. So hold on. Yeah. Okay. Now let's I'm actually just going to just put some spaces and comments. If there is actually no input. Okay. So okay, now let's get back to our main code. I'm also putting space here. Oh wait, sorry, my bad. Sorry, I'm putting a space here because this is our main code, and it's going to be pretty long, so I'll just put spaces. So now let's remove that because we don't need that. Now we're assuming that's actually input. So what we'll do is just one more check. So for this, we're going to make another function outside of this autocomplete function. Now this check isn't really necessary, you can say, but we just want to rule out those impossible cases, right? So for example, right now we just did. So if there's like 0 characters, we can't pinpoint a player. So what we'll do is now we'll check if the given input is longer than the longest name in the server. So basically, if you're trying to pinpoint a player, the given input wouldn't be longer than any player's name. So let's say I want to pinpoint player 1. I can say PLA. I'll talk about the lowercase ones and like how I'll do that later. And we can put player 1 itself, no worries. But I can't put player 1 because, well, that's not the same, right? And and there's like multiple people in the server. It's obvious that this is not possible because there's more characters. Here it's 7, I think, and here there's 8 characters, and that definitely won't make any sense. So we'll do just that. Okay, the reason why we're making this as a separate function is because we're going to find the longest name. This also includes display names or normal names. So I'm just going to make it like another function just to clear the clutter outside. So we can do local function. Let's call this get longest name. We don't need any input here. We just want to return a number. That's it. So what we'll do is first we'll make a variable called temporarily or temp greatest, and I'll put this 0. Should I put 0 or a string? Again, I'll put it as a string. Why not? I'll put it as 0. Why not? Okay, so we'll make a variable called temp greatest, and we'll put it as 0. Okay, so temp greatest, as you can tell, it just simply says temporary greatest. So the reason why I'm making this variable here is because it's easier to compare when there's multiple people in the server. So I can do a check against every player. So if player 1 has the name like player 1 itself, this has 7 characters, right? So, and is it greater than 0 or temp greatest? That means let's imagine there's one player in the server and the player's name is player 1. Okay, so that means we can just compare this to the temp greatest. We'll say 7. Okay, so that means the greatest, and okay, and if this condition is true, that means temp greatest will be, let's say, 7. And then we can say if there's multiple people in the server, let's say player 1 2 3 4, and we're comparing this, so we'll compare this with temp greatest, but now our temp greatest is 7, not 0. So we can say we can compare with, well, temp greatest will be 7, so we'll compare with 7, and temp greatest will be what is it, 7 plus 6 plus 4 10. Okay, so that was a complicated way to explain that, I'm sorry. But basically temporary greatest will allow us to compare one variable with every single player in the server. Okay, so in simple terms, temp greatest or temporary greatest will allow us to compare one variable with every player in the server. So I'll show you how we do that. So once we made that variable, we'll go through the list of every single player in the server, right? So for this we need a for loop. For I, we do we need yeah, in pairs. So what list are we talking, or what table are we talking about? We can say game get game dot players colon get players. So basically this is gonna get and we're gonna type do, and so basically what this is gonna do is basically get a list of all the players in the game, right? And we're gonna go through each one of them, right? So what we can do is if string dot length of, let's say, v dot name, or we can't say v because v will be a player and you can't get I don't think it'll be it'll give an error, but for the sake of it we're gonna put the name of the player. Okay, so we're gonna put directly the name of the player here, and we'll get the length, like how long the name is. We'll compare this against temp greatest. Then so that means this is greater than the already greatest. So imagine this as breaking a record. Like there's a record for something, like a world record for something, and then someone else breaks it. So basically that person would have the record, right? So we can say v dot name is okay, then temp greatest is equal to string dot length v dot name. So basically that's exactly like the record thing. So if this person breaks the record, if this person's name breaks the record, then this person's name will be the record. So that means yeah, that's actually pretty much it. So basically to explain this function, we have a temporary greatest variable. Think of it as a world record. Let's say a world record for having the longest name. Okay, and right now let's say, just assume no one has it. It's impossible. Let's assume no one has it. So now we'll go through every single player in the server, and we'll see if each player breaks the record. Now the obviously the first one is 0. Okay, sorry, I'm back. So basically we can say we can like set a new record, and well at the beginning is 0, and we'll check if any player breaks the record. So what we'll do is we'll go through each and every player, right, and we'll check if their name breaks the record. Now the first record is obviously 0. That means the first player's name will always be the first one, and we'll go to the next player and check if their name beats the record, and so on and so forth. Okay, so now if their name breaks the record, that means that's obvious, and at the end we'll get the longest name in the server. So we can just say return temp longest. We just attempt greatest, sorry. So we just need the greatest number, and we'll return that. That means, okay, let's just close this function. Okay, now we'll get back to our main code and at autocomplete. Okay, so okay, now in the main code what we'll do is we'll compare the length of the given input and the longest name. So basically if string.len if string.len input is greater than let's say get longest name, the function, then okay, you know what, just like before, we're gonna make smallest. Now this basically means if string.length, if the length of the input is smaller than the longest name, okay, we'll try finding a player. But if it's greater, that means if it's greater, we can just return an error. Return given, actually hold on, before we continue, in our get longest name we can do if string.len v.name or temp greatest. We can say, we can also add a display name, right? So we can say or string.len v.display name is greater than temp greatest. So basically what we're adding is just or. So if it satisfies any one of these conditions, whether it can be the actual username or the display name, if any of those are longer than the temporary greatest, that is the record like I told before, then the greatest will be okay, wait, I think, you know what, I think it's actually better. Okay, you know what, okay, so basically now let's imagine if the display name is longest, but okay, if the display name is longest, this if statement will be true, but the next line there will actually be a small error. It will actually just put it'll get the length of the name, not the display name. So what we can do is, so we can't tell if it's display name or name. So you know what I'll do, I'll just make this a different if statement. First we'll compare name, I'll put some spaces. First the if string, just pretty much the same thing, but display name is greater than temp greatest, then temp greatest is equals to string dot len be the display name. Okay, that's it. Yeah, I think that's it. Yeah. Okay, so that's it. So first we will have two functions. So first it compares the names, second it compares the display names, and from all those it'll find the greatest one, and at the end it'll return the greatest number, the greatest name, basically, the length, the greatest length, I mean. Oh god. Okay, now let's get back to our small thing, our main function, local function autocomplete. So yeah, okay, so basically it's our main code. I'll just put it for temporarily, and I'll put spaces again just for neatness. Why not? Okay, else we can return given input is too long. That's a simple thing. So it says I'll put this here, and I'll put this here. What does it put like that? And this we can say longer more than any display name. Okay, so now let's just run the code and see if this works. Also in the main code we can just say return just for now, checking, just for now. We'll change it just for now, just like testing. Okay, first we'll check our first condition, which is nil. I mean, like no characters, no input is given. Great, it works. If I say checking, okay. So if I say, I'll just give my name for now. Enter, okay. Okay, it works. But because my actual name is longer than my display name, so I can say okay, I'm okay. So this is my entire username, but given input is actually not too long. I actually made a small mistake here. There's a small bug. Okay, so this should be valid. This should be valid. But if I give one more extra character, then it should be invalid, which is already invalid. But this should not be invalid. I'll change that right now. I made a small mistake. I'll get to it. So this is my actual username right now. So this should not be invalid, but I made a small mistake, so we'll correct that mistake right now. So basically here in this line, if string.length, okay, so basically imagine we give player 1. Let's imagine there's one player in the server, right? And the given input is player 1, and the given input is player 1, and the player in the actual server is player 1. Now both these names have 7 characters, so 7 and 7, right? But when this if statement checks if string of length, that means the input, right? We'll compare the input and the player's name, or well, the longest name. So in this case there's one player, so it's obviously going to be this, so it will be 7, right? And so basically 7 is not smaller, 7 is equals to it's not smaller. Since it's not smaller, we'll go to the else. So I'll say return given input is too long. That's not what we need. So what we're actually going to do is we're going to say if it's less than or equal to, is that, no, it's actually, sorry, if it's less than or equal to, so that means if it's 7 is equal to 7, okay, sure, you know what, let's continue checking. Or we can say if it's lesser than that, we can also continue checking. But if it's over than that, we can say return given input is too long. Let's test it once more. Okay, no input is given. Okay, that works. I'm just gonna put, okay, given input is too long. Let me just compare. I'll just that out. Internal fighter 86. This is my complete actual username, and it says, okay, it says checking, which means our code works. And if I put one more extra character, given input is too long, it works. So that's good. So it checked the longest name on the server, and then it compared with that, and it works. So it's nice. We'll remove this return checking. Let me just make sure that everything is commented correctly. I'll just remove this. If it is with it isn't fit less than. Okay, so I've given the comment if it's less than the it's with the max, less than the max, which means less than the highest. It's so simple. Okay, let's get back to our main code. So now what we're gonna do is we can say local possible players. Let's make a new variable, local possible players, and it'll be a table, but right now an empty table. There we go. And we'll put the next line. So basically, possible players. I'm sorry, a plural possible players. It could be multiple, could be one. So what now we're gonna do is now we'll so first things first, we're going to, we can say input is equal to string dot lower input. So now what we're actually going to do is take the input and just make it lowercase, so it's not case sensitive. So whatever like it could be, they could give int like this, or int completely full. No matter what they'll do, it'll be converted into a smaller one like this, int like that. So it's all converted into a common case. So once we've converted, now what we'll do is we'll compare the with this and the beginning of every player name. So now I can't put fighter and compare as internal fighter, because maybe there's maybe there's someone else that's like fighter, that's cool. Maybe someone else has a username like this, so I can't use fighter. So we'll just like set a like we can just say we can only check the beginning letters and not like middle between. Okay. And yeah, we'll also check for display name or the actual username. We'll check for both, don't worry. So now we've converted our input. So next things next, we'll do another for loop for iv in pairs. Now we'll get the list of players, get players, do. Okay, now go through list of players. Okay, now what we'll do is we're going to the players list, like list of players. So now we're just going to compare. We're not comparing, we're going to look for the first, we're going to look, so let's say I give the input int. We're going to look at the input and see if it matches the beginning of a username, right? So int matches with int, and if you look at my display name, it would match with this too. So we have to check whether it matches and it is in the first place. It has to be started in the first place, as in it has to begin with it. So for this what we'll do is there's a lot of functions for string, and a lot of them are like, I guess you can call it similar, I guess, but so we have to find the one that suits our needs. So if I go to string, I think string dot, is there something called like pattern, I think, or substring, I think, I forgot what it's called, like string dot sub, I think that's what it's called. Maybe that would work, or like a string dot find. Let me just look. String dot length, this is the one we commonly use. It returns the length string, simple. String dot lower we just used, returns a copy of string with all uppercase characters changed to lowercase. Okay, string dot match. Okay, wait, look for the first match of pattern, that is this pattern, string s. If a match is found, the wait, what? It looks the first match of pattern. Why would it return? Because if they returned it, it will be the same thing as pattern, right? Okay, what? Look for the first match of the pattern in the string S. If a match is found, it is. Oh yeah, I think the number is returned or something. Oh, I think. Yeah, it has to be, right. Yeah, I think so. It could be. Oh wait, hold on. Let me just try this out. So let's say string dot match. Okay, string. Okay, it says okay. Wait, hold on. Let me just try this out. So let's say my text would be hello. Some patterns, HEL. Initial not necessary. And we'll do a print. And now. And. Okay. Where's output? Yeah. Okay, it returns a string. But I mean, it returns a pattern. Why does it do that? Because it'll be okay. I'm so confused. Okay. So how can we a third option numeric in a specify? Okay, we can tell where to start checking from, but it doesn't necessarily tell us that it's from the beginning. We can tell it's to start searching from the beginning, but it won't tell whether it's from where the pattern is found. Okay, this won't work. This simply won't work because it does not return like a position or something. It's not, it doesn't work for us. Concatenation return the string as concatenation and completes. Oh no. String out of a string dot split. I think this is for table. Inputs. Oh no. That's so sorry. Okay, string dot sub. Okay, so wait, this might. Wait, hold on. Is there no find? I think there was. Oh yeah, string dot find. Okay, wait. Before that, I'll look for a string dot sub. Okay, let me just look at this. Returns a substring of S. Okay. That. Okay, no. I mean, we can use this. Okay, we can use this actually. We can say substring of S. Okay. So we can say the player's name. We can put player's name. Int I is equal to 1. Int J is equals to the number of characters within the input. What is the return? Substring. Okay, and then we can compare. Okay, string of sub can work. Okay, let me just do a string of find. I think string of find is better, honestly, as per like what I remember. Okay, so first we got string as string pattern number. Okay, looks for those and it returns number. Great. Okay, wait, what is the last one return? Number, I think. String, sorry. Oh yeah, this is basically what it returns. Okay, that's nice. I know that. Okay, looks for the first match of pattern within the string S. If it finds a match, then it returns the index of S where the icon starts and ends. Oh, where it ends too? Oh, where it ends. How does it tell like both? Is it comma? I think it's comma. String dot find. Hello. Hell. Okay, wait. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, it has to be comma, right? Yeah, I think it definitely is comma. Okay. Otherwise it turns in L. Okay, that makes sense. Okay, I like this. Okay. I don't know how to check. How do you check when there's two returning values? That's okay. Let me hold on. Let's just do if a string dot find hello hell is equals to 1, then print test and okay, it printed test. Wait, so what if I put 4? It does not print 4. Let's see, what if I do 1 comma 4? Okay, no, it doesn't make sense. Okay, we can check the first number. I don't know how to check the last number. Okay, so we don't need last number, honestly, we just need the first number. Yeah, okay, we can just work with that. Okay, third optional argument, where to start the search. Okay, that's basically string out match. It's nice. Its default value is 1, can be negative, value of 2 as fourth. Pattern matching facilities to the function as a plain. Okay, I don't know what that is. We don't need that, it's fine. The first two will do just fine. So let's get back to our main code. Let's get back to our main function. Let's get back to our main code. So so what we'll do, we're going to the list of players, right? We're going to the list of players, and and in the list of players, what we'll do is convert any lower string, and then we can do a search. Yeah, okay. So what we'll do is, since we don't want this to be case sensitive, we've converted the input to a lower string. Now while we're checking, we're going to convert the player's name into lower string. Lowercase. Lowercase. So that means it won't be case sensitive at all. So let's just do that, and then we can do a string dot find within both, and yeah, let's see. You can say local plr name is equals to string dot lower. We get the v dot name. V is player name. That's nice. Okay, now what we do, if plr name, string dot find. So the first thing is the first main string. Okay, so the plr name. The plr name will always be longer than the pattern. Longer or equal to the pattern. So we can say, okay, player name. It's going to be checking the given input with the player name, not the other way around. So we can say player name, pattern string. So I zoned out. Okay, input is equals to 1. So if this function returns 1, we'll check that. So if it returns 1, we can say then. So what this means is really nice. It's really convenient, this function. So basically, if it'll check if input is within player name, right, and it'll return a number. Now that number tells us where it starts. Now if it's a 2, that means it'll be like int. Let's imagine this is the name, and if it returns 2, that means this string starts from the second one. It starts from the second character of the main string. In this case, it's IINT. So, but for us, we want to check if it starts from the beginning. So that's the first one, which is 1. Then we can say return now. Alright, we have to check if it's also display name, right? Okay, for now I'll just put player name, right? And then after this, what we can do is, I think we can put it in the possible players table. Okay, yeah, wait, hold on. So after the player name variable, we can make another one, local display name string dot lower v dot display name. Okay, that's good. String dot find. Okay, or we can do the same thing, or string dot display name, in this case display name, and we'll do the input. Okay, if it starts within the, okay, so now what we'll do is so now if it matches either the player name and it's the first one, or it matches the display name and it's and it's from the beginning, we can say we can uh, count this count the input, count the player's name as a possible player. Now the reason why I'm making a table at first is because maybe there can be two players with who has the same initials. Maybe they could be let's say they could be a Chris. They could be a Chris. Wait, hold on. They could be someone with Chris 1 2 3 3 4. Yeah, and they could be another one with Christopher 5 3 2. So basically, and let's say the input is CHR, and that means there's one here and another here. So there could be multiple possible players, and hence what we're gonna do is table dot insert. So which table are we talking about? Possible players, right? Where is it? Yeah, possible players. What are we talking about? Now what I want to insert would be what do I want to insert? Player name. Yeah, let's do player name. Why not? Player name. Okay. So basically, now you might have the reason why I'm not putting display name, because I don't like display names much, honestly. I just like player names. I don't know why. Putting display name, Roblox, the day Roblox added display name, it made everything much more, double work, you can say. You put player name and then display name, and it's just fine. I don't know. I can deal with it, I guess. Okay. So the reason why I'm not putting display name here is because with the actual player name, I can find the player easily, like within the explorer or whatever it is. But it's more convenient to use the name within code, because even in the explorer, the name. This is a local script, it's fine, but like the local player's name as the object's name would be the username itself, not the display name. So the player name is way more important, and hence I'm putting player name itself. It doesn't matter if it matches the player name or the display name. If it matches either of them, just give the player name. That's fine. So once table insert, now I'm done. So at the end of the loop, after it's finished looking through each and every player, finding the possible players, finding the players that are like not possible. So after it gets and after this table, after this loop, it'll if it matches the player name or the display name, that player's name would be a possible player. So after the loop, what we'll do is we can say go through list, check if it is within display in brackets name and is list. Okay, now after the loop, I just put a space here, why not? Okay, now after the loop, I'll just check. Okay, now after the loop, we can just say if hashtag possible players. If you do hashtag possible players, that means number of objects in possible player. Right now it's just 0. So right now if I just if I wanted the hashtag possible player, it would be 0. But since if it's in code, maybe a player could be added, or maybe no player could be added. So if, so there's 3 conditions within here. If there are no possible players, that is, it couldn't match any single one name, is equal to 0, then return like this, no, I'm just gonna put a comment right here. Okay, and we can return no player found. Okay, now we can do an else if. So that means if the possible players is not equal to 0, but it is let's say 1, then what we can do is return no player found, we can say we can return the player name itself. So we can say possible players the one. So that means if there's only one element in possible players, there's only one possible player that that the input is talking about, and so hence we'll return that name, which is the first element within the table, because well, that's the only element of the table. We'll do another else if. Oh crap. Else if hashtag hashtag possible players is greater than 1. That means there are multiple players. So in this case we can do I'll put a space out of this. Okay, we can do return multiple players found. There we go. So I'll just comment on these. Only one player found. That means our player is found. And multiple players found. Okay, we got multiple players found. Okay, we got a lot of returns here. See, now if you look at the code, now our code is pretty much complete. Now we have testing, and let's see if there's any bugs. Now if you look at the code, and if you look at the bottom more especially, you can see how much more neater it is. All the errors and stuff like that are moved to the bottom. So I've figured out 3 main things from the possible players like list, and we got the 2 impossible cases, that is given input is too long or no input is given at all, and then after that we have no player. After that, after these 2 mainly impossible errors, or you can say impossible events, you can say, we're going to check the actual input. There could be 3 cases where no player is found, a player is found, or there's multiple players found. Now we'll just do a quick test. So that means there are 5 possibilities. There's 5 returns here: 1 2 3 4, 1 2 3 4 5. And I'll just reduce the space. Our code is mainly done. So yeah, that's it. Let me just test. We have a get longest name function. Our autocomplete function is pretty much complete, you can say. Okay, let me just test really quick. Output window. Okay. Also, if you look at Explorer and go to the players, it says internal file release. That is my username, so that's what I was talking about. The username is way more important and stuff. So that's the side thing. Okay, let's go to output. We don't really need output unless it's an error, because all our messages are through the label anyway. So let's try it out. Click, no input is given. So if I say now both my names start with I and INTER, so I'll just give something else other than that. I'll start with J, no player found. So basically this is because there's only one player in the server, and that player's that player's name starts with an I, not a J. So basically there's no person's name that begins with a J at all. I can put anything I want. I can put space if I want. Right. I can't test space right now. I can't test a display name with space, because my display name does not have a space. I like it this way. So but I think but it should definitely 99% it should work. I don't think there should be a problem. We've accounted for display names and player names as well, so it should not be a problem. Okay, let's get back to testing. So there could be multiple. Okay, so what we've done is no input is given. Okay, so let's say n, no player found. That's a second possibility. There's one more, right? If the input is too long, I can put I and given input is too long. Great. That's the third and fourth one is getting the actual player. So both my names start with I. I can put I and boom. Just with that. Oh wait, I made a small mistake. It says okay, I made a small mistake here. So if you notice, and if you look at my real username, I and F are capital, but in the given given output, I and F are well small. This is because we've converted it into a lower case, and we've just directly put that in the possible players table, and hence the lowered name is the lowercase name is being shown. So to stop that, what we'll do is table dot insert possible players. We can do game dot players. How would I? Okay, can that work? I'm doubtful about this. Like, hold on, let me try. I'm doubtful about this. Oh, hold on. Dot name. Okay, I'm doubtful about it. I'm just testing. I think it'll work. Oh, there's another here. It says inter final 86 because lower class. Okay. Hold on. Oh wait, I can just put v dot name, right? Yeah. I can put v dot name. Yeah, sorry. So, this okay. Remember how this table looks through every player, right? And v is the player. So what I can put is v dot name, which means internal file 86. The actual username will come. And now if I try it out, because now we're not taking the lowercase version. See, PLR name is the lowercase version of v dot name, but we need the original version, and the original version is v dot name. So we can just test that out. Also, I'll do the 5 cases again, and 5th one is a bit hard to test right now, but I'll work. So now I can say, do I put it again? Wait. If I give an I, boom, and a player is found, and the name is given. And if I put my display name, it still works. If I put my actual username, works. I'll give my full, and I'll give one more character. Does not work. That's our 3rd case. What's my 4th case? Hold on. So we have done no player found. I think we've done that. Okay, fine. No player found. That's our 4th error. And if I give, as you can see, the caps does not matter at all. Oh, it's sorry. The caps does not matter because we convert it to lowercase anyway. And we can say my display name to still not caps, case sensitive. Works either way. Amazing. Nice. So we have one more case to test, that is multiple players found. Now obviously I have to start a small server right now, so let's put 2 players. 2 players is enough for now. Player 1 is, I'm on player 1 right now. Okay, so what we can do is first we'll test all 4 cases. The number is given, no player found, multiple players found, down, boom. That's our 5th case. Multiple players found, because that's player 2, this is player 1. This is our 5th case. Player 1, boom, found it. Player 2, boom, found it. The reason why it doesn't say player 1 because well, multiple players found. Okay, so player 1, player 2, and given input is too long, no input is given, too long, no player found, multiple players found, player 1, player 2, and if I can test only where's the other one. There we go. This is player 2, multiple players found, player 2, too long, multiple players, player 2, no input is given, so on and so forth, no player found. So it works. Leave. So all 5 cases we have just tested, and the 5th one needs multiple players, of course. So that's pretty much it.